Hey everybody, this is a pre-recorded video. I am going to chalk on a shirt. We have ink, which is just awesome, and we also have these ink mats, you can see it right here, that help us do these awesome shirts. So I'm really going to quickly show you guys how to ink a shirt. When I saw this transfer, it says "and chill," I thought, how cute would that be on a sign with another piece of a other transfer that says chalking is my superpower, crafting is my superpower. You can change out the wording. And I saw the chalking and thought, oh my goodness. So I made a sign that's behind me, that one right there, and I loved it so much that I want to make this on a shirt. So I'm actually going to take the ing off of chalking, and I'm going to use my placement tape, and we're going to use it for ink. We're going to do bright white on this shirt. Let me move you guys down so you can see better on what I'm doing. You can see the ink mat is right here. You can hear how sticky it is. I use a t-shirt guide that I bought off of Amazon. You can use whatever you want, however it works best for you. And I just guide it like that so I know exactly where to put the transfer. Now I have used this obviously with paste, and now we're going to use this with ink. And guess what, guys? You can do that with our transfers. You can put them on. That is not centered. You can put them on or use paste and ink with the same transfer. Let me pull this up real quick. And notice that I'm not fuzzing. Why am I not fuzzing? Because you don't fuzz when you use ink. I just want to make sure that I'm going straight. So I'm actually going to stand up for a second. I always stand up because then I get a better view of how I'm putting this on here. So it's not straight either. So I always, like I said, I always use the guide. So I want it centered, of course. It is just not going to get me centered right now, guys. I'm like working with it. It takes a little bit of finagling. Don't think it doesn't, because it does. Right there is centered. I'm going to pull this off of this guide, pushing this down, making sure that this is nice and tight to the surface, okay? Also, whenever you're doing a, let me write on the back of this so I know I've used this again. Whenever you're doing an ink project, you don't fuzz. You want that ink mat. And of course, there will be a cart link on how to get all these goodies in the description of this video. And if you're wanting to know how to heat set, that is on the back of your packaging, but I also have a video, a tutorial video that tells you. So when you use your ink, you're just going to go just off that silk screen, and you're going to pull it through. Now with our white, I want to tell you this right now, guys, with our white, you will want to go heavy. White is a lighter pigment, especially once it gets on these material. So you want to make sure that you're going over it a couple times. I always go over it quite a few times because I want to make sure it's on there nice and tight. Now, and nice and crisp and clean. Also, though, if you're going for more of a vintage look, lighter might be better. That might be what you want to go for. That is up to you. Okay, you can see I've already done one pass over with it. Now I'm going to do the next. Going kind of just a little bit heavy, pulling it through, kind of letting it sit a little bit, pulling all that extra paste or ink off. Now you're going to let this transfer sit on here You can go a little bit slower when you're using ink than you can with paste, but you're going to pull the transfer up, and then you're going to let this design sit for 24 to 48 hours, and then you can heat set it using parchment paper as a barrier. Do not use wax paper. Wax paper will ruin your design. It will actually melt to your project, and nobody wants that. All right, I think we got it on there nice and even. I'm just going to go back over it, pulling all the extra, because obviously you don't want lines. Being careful not to get any ink where I don't want it, because our ink is semi-permanent. Okay, so I'm going to wash my fingers, because you can see I got ink on my fingers. I'm washing my fingers. When I go to pull this up, I don't want to put ink on my shirt where I don't want ink to be. Okay, you can see that. Now, I'm going to let this sit 24 to 48 hours, of course, and dry. But now I'm going to put this chalking part on here. So actually, let me grab some placement tape. And we're going to get this going too. I've already done this once, like I showed you on the sign behind me. And so I'm just going to put the word chalk, kind of using the angle of this. I'm going to use some placement tape and cover up that ing. Okay, I'm going to grab a small or a mini squeegee. I'm going to go over it. Up, and there is the chalk and chill on the t-shirt. So I'm going to let this sit 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to show you guys real quick the design. How cute is that, right? So that's going to sit for 24 to 48 hours and dry, and then I will heat set that, and I will have a new shirt. How awesome is that, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your support. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you are not a Couture designer, please click that SHARE button. Spread the love for me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.